finally have a voice. This is Lagos Talks 91.3. Take a break from the stress of Lagos life on the midday show.
As it is. No
Yeah.
No chip.
Hello, my country people.
She's
We're back.
the nice one, always trying to keep him out of trouble.
Oh no, don't say that.
These two
Don't say that.
to be the voice of the people. Lagos, are you ready? The Big Bird has landed.
This is show Anikulapo-Kuti.
And I'm Ifunanya. Join us every Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 noon on our brand new show.
If I open this my mouth here, all things scatter.
Father help us all.
Talk to Sheil Kuti and Iffy on the people's perspective every Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 noon on Lagos Talks 91.3.
A very good morning. It's 4 minutes past 11 this fantastic fun-filled Friday. Welcome to the Midday Show with me, Ifunanya, here on Lagos Talks 91.3. As always, we start our Fridays with an absolute bang, starting with the people's perspective, seeing things from your own perspective. And as always, the people's perspective is brought to you by Adam and Eve, Nigeria's #1 homeware superstore. But before we proceed into what we have for you today,
Talk and finish. No, they talk this Adam and Eve matters.
before we proceed into that, I have to introduce you now.
No
Sheil.
worry about me. Talk and finish.
My co-host is in this video, Sheil Kuti. So speaking about our special sponsors, Adam and Eve, as you know, as you've heard, and you've probably experienced by now, it's a tested and trusted homeware service, providing luxurious lifestyle products that reflect the class, style, and personality of their clientele by providing an extreme range of products to suit all tastes.
I concur. I completely concur. You know, the voice that is also used to say something about something is very important. I'm telling you, if this your voice, when you talk about them, I believe it.
I like that.
Your voice has believability.
Believability. Wow. After so many years.
Yes.
You're saying that. You know, that's the point.
You know, it takes time for me to vet.
Yeah.
Just to be sure, so we don't mislead the people.
Someone is asking if can I be your Adam whilst you be my Eve?
Who will be that? See, in case that person is new to the show, I have banned all toasting of Ife on this show. At least not while I am here. It is rude for any to see a man like me next to a beautiful woman and still be toasting her. Is that not rude?
It's rude.
It's un-African.
But you know why? The reason why they know that they could toast me, 2 reasons.
Why?
Or one in particular.
Tell me one.
You're a married man. So,
I'm a married African man.
what does that mean?
It means my married credit is large.
What?
I mean, my father alone had 27. I'm still on 1.
Ah!
I'm on 1.
So,
My father can be looking back at me now and be
we're
just. I just
assuming
be saying,
that you're a modern day Nigerian.
yeah, so instead of 27, at least 7. I hope my wife is not listening to this show.
I hope she's listening.
She's not listening. She would have commented. I'm looking at my.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, guys, with Adam and Eve, they provide a variety from leather to kitchen. Is she
Haters. See them.
What do they say?
2 vex paper say, okay, you don't marry. I don't think you go first see that one. Now you go first see out.
That's too funny. Don't kill me, Joe. Yeah. So from kitchen to electricals, bed and bath, leather, outdoor dining. You can shop for this and much more at Adam and Eve. It's in Ikeja, Lagos, and I mean, you could just go see for yourself and experience what you and I have experienced.
Yes. You know, say I need to talk with you, not be true. If I never go feel it, I have to feel it and I'll tell you. Yes.
Okay, guys, let's get into the show for today. A few stories are going to be definitely touching on this bizarre information getting to us, talking about the federal government speaking to the court, saying we did not stop Nigerians from using Twitter. Then we're going to be talking about...
But they are right. They stopped Twitter from using Nigeria.
Well, you know what? Some other things that they said, which we're going to get to shortly.
These people.
Which we're going to get to shortly.
They are too much.
And then CBN launching a digital currency. Quite interesting. And we're going to be speaking a little bit about Sunday Igboho and his arrest and the updates so far. All right, let's get into Twitter. It's quite confusing.
Before we start today's show, I want to give a shout out to one of my very good proteges. That's what I'll call him, my younger brother, good friend. His name is Shani. He just left. He's going to leave soon, or he has left to America to do a course, master's degree, and I wish him all the best.
Aww.
You know, making sure that he keeps his feet on the ground and his head in his books.
Keep your head in your books.
Not in the white girls, in the books.
Why did you say white girls in particular?
Because you know that's what I want African man travel now.
Yeah.
Not be Igboho, then they go fine.
For
Yes,
what?
so,
Is it
I
for
don't
other
know.
reasons aside from passport or what?
I don't know, but I just dey tell him.
That's so interesting.
It's important.
Okay.
Good luck, brother.
Good luck from us here at the People's Perspective. Now, just kicking off with the Twitter saga, it's confusing because now the federal government has told the Federal High Court in Lagos that it has not even stopped Nigerians from using social media platform Twitter, adding that many Nigerians are still using it every day. Now, the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, and the federal government said this is, they said this rather in a counter affidavit that they deposed to in response to an originating motion filed by human rights lawyer Igboho Effiong. The government had in June suspended Twitter barely 2 days after that social media platform deleted a tweet by our president. However, many Nigerians have bypassed Twitter, of course, by getting the VPN, which is a virtual private network. So people are still on it, carrying on with their everyday conversations and their business dealings and what have we. Now, Malami, in a statement, threatened to prosecute Nigerians. We spoke about it here. He threatened to prosecute them, those that are using the platform. While the National Broadcasting Commission also ordered all radio and television stations to stop using Twitter or picking content from Twitter. Hence the reason why we don't say you can reach us on Twitter anymore. But now in this deposition and in response to this lawsuit that was being filed by a human rights lawyer, they're saying, well, we do not really stop Nigerians from using this social media platform. It's super confusing. Now we know that within the government itself there is a complete disconnect, because from one arm you'll be hearing something completely different, another arm comes with their own proposition, confusing the citizenry. But it seemed like there was a oneness in voice when they banned Twitter, because it seemed like so many of the political office holders today supported this, especially coming from the federal government. But now they're saying, oh, we didn't stop Nigerians from using Twitter.
Yes, because they cannot stop Nigerians from using Twitter. Nobody can police the internet. I don't know if people know about the dark web. The normal internet we use is about 9.something% of the entirety of the internet strength. The majority of the internet is called the dark web. Which we where the kind of things that happen on the dark web is where human trafficking,
we see stories
excuse me,
about that.
sell guns, drugs, anything you want to buy. Literally, you can find it on this dark web. And more sophisticated law enforcement agencies from America to England to Sweden, they can't stop it. They can't stop people from going on it and using those services. So how can Nigerian government, now our police, still all 75% of our police have pot belly? How can they stop Twitter? This thing is, so I think
is this a case of semantics?
The Attorney General finally seeing his own powerlessness in the situation must change mouth. Because remember I said it on the show.
Yeah.
That the Nigerian government cannot even enforce traffic law. Traffic law.
How much more the Twitter ban? But like I mentioned, is it a case of semantics? Because they categorically threatened prosecution. Now you're saying, oh yes, they can't stop, meaning that they can't impose a law, so to speak, stopping Nigerians from using Twitter. But if they have threatened and they're going to the court of law saying, oh, well, we didn't say they shouldn't use Twitter, but they actually told us, do not use Twitter. If not, you could be prosecuted.
I think this situation also paints a picture that Nigerians should take, really into cognizance and really understand it. This shows that whatever we are doing in this country, out of fear, the fear is only in us. That there's nothing these people can really actually do to stop us if we decide as a people. Because Nigerians decided to not stop using Twitter. So what has happened after all the threats? We'll persecute. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, came out and said, if you use VPN, you are putting yourself at risk. Because they've already tried to threaten us with the big stick. It didn't work. We'll prosecute you. Now they threatened us with the carrots. If you use it, you die. You die. Like they do in the Holy Village. You go inside that forest, you will die. So we will go. So after you, next step, okay, nothing can happen. We can't do anything. Continue now. Continue. We can't do. We didn't say. I did not say so.
It just goes to show the form of leadership that we practice in Nigeria. It's more authoritarian. It's more fear-driven, because, like you mentioned, within the ambit of the law, they do not have any right to stop Nigerians from using it. But all they could do is to use fear, as always, to threaten, to instill that fear in the citizens, who then may not even know what the law provides to protect them. Because that's another thing. We are not so educated, so to speak, about our rights as a people and about what the law provides. Hence the reason why we think, oh my goodness, if the government is saying they're going to prosecute us, there's a possibility that they're going to prosecute us.
We do not understand the desperate limitations of the Nigerian government. Desperate. The limitation of this government is desperate. You know, they really cannot achieve much in terms of law enforcement, policy. I mean, I've been saying to people, this country, since I was born, we've had Vision 2020, Vision 2000, Vision 2010. They cannot meet any target. It's important. Name one. I always tell people when they talk to me about how government is trying, how business people are trying. First of all, I say, tell me one thing in the private sector that the service you are satisfied with it. Name one. We cannot name it. Your bank, you are not satisfied. Your housing, your landlord, you are not satisfied. Nobody is satisfied with any private. Publicly, name one thing all these our so-called big men with big brain have solved in this country. Have they solved education? No. Water? No. Ordinary life.
Healthcare? No.
Africa is the sun in Africa alone. They cannot solve light. They can't solve education. They can't solve transportation. They can't solve housing. They can't solve not one problem in it. The only problem they've solved in Nigeria, I swear down, is how to entertain us. And the reason why they've solved that is that entertainment is the cheap option, because it's distraction.
That's true.
So it distracts us from all the other things that they've not solved, that they cannot do the real things that we need. You understand? So we as Nigerian people must begin to understand this thing from this perspective. I would not know how rich these men are. I'm telling people that this whole Twitter ban gone is because many of our politicians are investors in all these tech businesses now. I found out some things last week. I don't want to say because I've not really done my investigation, but my finish. I've started. But so far, it's proving to be true what I found out. So we do not know that many of these are rich Nigerians that would not even know their names. But the financiers of the Nigerian oppression, they own businesses in all these big tech companies that you not believe. All these Apple, Amazon, they own heavy shares.
Wow.
This thing now, everybody is buying VPN. Nigerians did not need VPN before. Now everybody is buying VPN. Everybody is paying VPN money. I'm sure one of them is in that VPN place, chopping. I'm telling you, they let them use it. Nobody buys VPN in Nigeria. I've not seen anybody with VPN. You know, only few people even knew what VPN was before Twitter ban. So this is a way for imperialists to also gain. They are also, now Nigeria is open for VPN business. They've been trying to get us to use it in different ways. We refuse.
Oh my goodness.
You know, now more cost for young people that are struggling to pay for that, and then they have to pay Apple subscription, pay Netflix subscription, pay their VPN subscription.
Anyways, if you're listening, what are your thoughts about this? It seems like there's a different narrative coming from the federal government weeks after they had directed Nigerians to stop using Twitter, even through VPN. But now it seems like what they're telling the courts is we never stopped Nigerians from using Twitter, and people are still using Twitter even now. So let's get your take on this one. You can give us a call 0809 234 5913. 0809 191 3913, 0809 222 0913, also 01 515 0913, 01 515 1913. Lagos Talks, good afternoon. Who's speaking, please?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, rather. What's your name?
My name is Val. Good morning.
Good morning, Val. Welcome.
Rachel, good morning. How are you doing?
How are you doing, Val? Welcome to the show.
Yes, so correct. You do well. I don't know, I cannot speak English. This their ban on Twitter, it shows how incompetent and inconsistent they've been. even right from campaign time, the policies they come up with, different things that they're coming up with is always anti-people. And at the end of the day, they try to push propaganda to us so that it will divert our attention from the issues, critical issues that we're supposed to look into, that we're supposed to probe. It is going to continue like this. And at every point in time when they do it, when people agitate, then they come up with another excuse. People will continue to agitate because the gullibility has gone down. The gullibility of Nigerians are very reducing. People are not becoming aware. So when we continue to probe, continue to agitate for things like this, discover more about our rights, these people will have no more excuses again to give to us.
Actually, they will not have anywhere to hide also. It's true.
All right. 0809-234-5913. 0809-191-3913. 0809-222-0913. You can also send a WhatsApp message to 0809-234-5913. This is coming from Adegboyega saying, I think we the citizens today fear. The AGF response in this matter has proven that these people in power have limitations. It's better that we know our rights as citizens and you use their limitations as our strengths. All right, thank you very much for your take on that one. Let's move on to the next story, but before that...
These Nigerian people, politicians, and elites in general, both business and political, because they are one. Nobody can tell me that they are different. They are really sinister in the way that this country is run. Because when we talk about our rights, right, it's guaranteed in the Constitution. Education, housing, food, that nobody is allowed to accumulate wealth, all these things is there in Section 2, Chapter 2, sorry. But then in the same Constitution, they say that better to get to Chapter 6, they're saying you cannot go to the law court, to demand those rights that are in the Constitution. You understand the way these people operate?
Wow.
They give you rights in one chapter, then go to another chapter. All those rights we give you, in case you don't get it or it is breached, you can't go to the court to challenge it based on this chapter.
That's ridiculous.
These are the people that want to enforce Twitter ban.
Anyways, let's take this Lagos Talks. Good morning. Who's speaking?
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Tunde. Please, how are you? Thank you, Doctor, today. We can't protect for the country. The country is complete already. And we just pray God will give us direction. That's all. And please, I want you to give me that Animal Sounds number, Babani. Former Sellers Bank Leader.
I can't give you Babani's number over the radio. Maybe try and call back after the show.
Oh, I know. I should call you which number?
Try and call this number back after the show.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, thank you. Lagos Talks, good morning. Who's speaking?
Hey, it's beautiful.
I will cut this call. I will cut this call. I will cut this call.
Beautiful radio butterfly.
It's not working. I'm telling you for a fact. Artist ṣètùtù kò lè ṣiṣẹ́ butterfly kọ́. Bí ó balẹ̀ ní labalábá fi ń wọgbó, eléyìí tí wọgbó lọ lọ́wọ́.
Because who was the one who set up committee to discuss with the Twitter owner? Who was that person? They had the minister, they had about 6 or 7 people. Why were they supposed to discuss with them? Then the Americans and the British, the diplomat, they came to raise the roof on this issue. And then they were attacked by the same Minister of Information, only to turn around few months later to say, no, he didn't say so. Are they really legitimate government? So I am really worried that we are being led by people who really are not there. They're just acting at the spur of the moment.
Do they have that FEC meeting that they always talk about? Because they go say every Tuesday and Wednesday they do FEC meeting. What do they discuss in that meeting?
I doubt if they even ever. Maybe some people will just meet. They will just come out with a communique are they really running this country, or they really, and now they bought this jet, about 9 of them, to fight the Boko Haram or whatever. I hope they won't start shooting at every one of us now, because here we are, you cannot use AK-47 correctly. And now you want to go up there and start firing at who? This is not Second World War or Third World War. So let the international community be, on guard, and let them please watch over us, because we are really in trouble now. May God save our country.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Lagos Talks. All right, on WhatsApp, this is coming from Falabi saying, this Twitter matter, I'm tired of the lies. When I heard Lai Mohammed say VPN gives access to your bank account, I laughed so hard that I cried. God help us in Nigeria with our leaders and their entertainment talent. This one is coming from Damola saying, hi, Big Brother Nifi. I never took the alleged Abubakar Malami threat seriously, because a law can only hold its ground after it has been passed by the legislator. People need to know their rights. Twitter and FG should sort out their issues fast. This VPN is quite tiring already. Please, if you're trying to call, please stop calling the WhatsApp line. You can call that line directly. Don't call on WhatsApp, because we can't take your call on WhatsApp, because I've been getting calls on WhatsApp. Makonjola is saying they went to court to say that because they know some top government officials too are using Twitter against the order of government. This is coming from Adeyemi.
Nigeria took their mouth, I swear.
Kwame Ture once said, when you struggle, you will see the contradiction in the system and how weak the system is. And we can work consciously to pull them down, this system, and build the system that is for the people. All right, thank you very much. Now, speaking of other news coming today, let's take a look at the Central Bank of Nigeria saying that it will launch the pilot scheme of its digital currency on the 1st of October 2021. Now, according to news outlets, CBN with its stakeholders highlighted and outlined its digital currency initiative via a private webinar held just Thursday yesterday.
Why am I laughing like this?
Before we get to why you're laughing, the CBN's Governor Godwin Emefiele had announced that the bank was working on a digital currency during the 30th or 306th Bankers Committee meeting. Now, it was reported that its private sources said the pilot scheme, I beg your pardon, will be launched on the 1st of October. And it said the press briefing delivered by the Director, IT Department, Rakia Mohammed, at the end of the meeting explained that the bank had been conducting research in regards to central bank digital currency since 2017 and may conduct a proof of concept before the end of this year. This project name is tagged Project Giant, and it will be used by the Hyperledger Fabric
Project Giant
chain. So guys, we know that there was a point in time that the CBN banned banks from servicing and financing these different forms and channels of digital currency. And there's so many reasons for that. And one of the questions that we're speculating at the time was, are they doing this ban, or is this ban coming because they want to start their own digital currency after all the disadvantages that they had lined up to buttress the reason why they banned banks from financing these digital currency channels? And now, alas, we know that this is actually happening, and they're launching it on the 1st of October.
Even before American government is launching their own. Maybe maybe before, even before UAE. I was seeing that UAE is launching theirs in 2026. Nigeria is ready now. I mean, this is misplaced priorities raised to power 5 billion. You just ways to squander Nigerians the small money that we don't have. They want it as usual. You don't see the name of the project, Project Giant. Hey, who will stop giants? Who is going to be in the way of the giant? We've not managed analog currency well. Let me bring out, there's no camera here. I'll show the people on my I will show the people on my life. They will be not. I have some money in my pocket.
Goodness gracious.
Look at the state of the normal money that look at this money. Look how dirty and tattered. I also have foreign money in my other pocket.
And how
this is how money should be.
And how depreciated in value it is. You
All
mentioned
this,
that as well.
all this money I'm holding up. You can see like 50k is one note, you know. And look at the quality.
Another currency.
Look at the quality. Look. Can you people hear it at home? This is real money. This is our own money. This, and we want to go digital. We are about to go digital. This is all I can say.
But digital is the way, Sean. If the world is moving forward, Nigeria cannot be backwards.
Yeah, I believe, but UAE is not going backwards.
Two currency channels that our government had been planning for this for a while. That CBN had been planning for this for a while, and they didn't say anything. You know, they were a bit hush hush about it.
Even if they are planning, you know, for us to go, there has to be proper research done. And we also have to be able to, the technology to create the value of the Bitcoin, the chain itself, the blockchain itself that they need, and all these computers that they need to power, that has to be running these powerful softwares, that have to be mining the coin. You know, this thing is not a piece of cake. You need acres and hectares of servers. You know, we know that in Nigeria, maintaining these kind of things is not our forte. Let's be honest. I mean, look at the way our internet works. Epileptically. It's true. One moment you're on 4G, you're on 3G, you're on 2G, then you're on edge, and then you're back. And you know, even our Wi-Fi systems at home, everybody is, you know. So for me, I'm not saying it is impossible for Nigeria to have digital currency, but by Independence Day this year, after just less than a year ago, this same Bitcoin was banned in Nigeria, and also the volatility of it in the world right now, in the world markets right now. Can Nigeria really be willing to take that risk?
Exactly.
You know, can we really take that risk? Can we afford that risk? Because I always talk about us jumping on all these capitalist ideas, you know. We don't have capital. If you don't have capital, you can't be a capitalist. Nigeria our economy was rebased. I always give this statistic. Was rebased by Okonjo-Iweala in 2014. And they said the whole Nigeria is 505 billion. Our economy, the whole Nigeria, everybody, all of us, everybody, all these people we get. Where would they deal? 505. Out of this 505 now, ordinary Microsoft, one company in America, is worth almost $2 trillion. We've not added Apple, we've not added Tesla, we've not added Lockheed and Smith, I mean they call them. We've not added Boeing, we've not added all these Fortune 500s. You understand what I'm saying? So we can't play the game that they play. Nigeria should invest any idea in our human resources, not in the markets, not in capital retention, not in all this big grammar that they blow for us. We should invest in our human resources. The human resources in Nigeria is our greatest asset and our best bet of becoming a developed nation. Educating our people, housing our people, creating opportunities for our people. How many people will this Bitcoin, digital currency that Nigeria is launching, employ? How many? How many people have the skill? When we know that majority of our people are in the unskilled department, meaning that we have to create jobs that they can engage with, and that is why our nation is underdeveloped. So let's build it with them. These are the things we should be thinking about and how to better the lives of Nigerian people, not another scam, because it's just a scam. You know, like when we launched satellite. Remember when Nigeria launched satellite and it fell down? No, well, they said it fell down. It lost. Nigeria sat one. I mean, we have to remember these things.
Oh my God.
We also launched CCTV program in Abuja. Remember under Jonathan?
Yeah, I remember that.
Where is it now? Is it working? Are we
what the
CCTV?
update is on that.
Okay. Now we are on to Project Giant. It's going to be gigantic, everybody. Get ready.
Yeah. Like you made mention, one of our major issues, and this is from ground up, down, is maintenance. It's always exciting to be very innovative. We have this idea, we have this that is going to move the economy forward, this and that. But if you're taking a look back at precedent that they've set, none of these things have ever worked in long term and in the long run. And for something as sensitive and as volatile as this, we know that they need more time. Just taking a look at other countries who've decided to take their time to ensure that they're doing it the best way possible. So I fear that, you know, I don't want to be a pessimist, but let's see what they have for us October 1st, and then we'll definitely...
being cautious is not pessimism. You know, I don't think saying people should prepare, you know, and learn what they want to do, you know, and I mean, what is the rush? what is the rush? CBN should get, the Central Bank of Nigeria should get its analog currency right. At least make the money smells. You know, like you get a bunch of naira, it smells. I mean, and they've not maintained that one.
All right, let's take this call. Lagos Talks. Lagos Talks. Good afternoon. Who's speaking?
Good morning.
Good morning. I don't know why I'm saying good afternoon. Good morning. Who's speaking?
Happy to on the line. Good morning, Abesho.
Hi, welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Come back on that. That was your last week Friday in Ghana.
It was recuperating. That's how it was. I recuperated.
That's political English. Very good. So for the cryptocurrency venture, was it not here that guys were doing their crypto business during lockdown? Your policy shut it down. You know, when you talk about Nigeria developing the economy and everything, politics is one of the things. Industrialization, who 90 people now who have so many raw materials, who cannot boast of the Igboho. Palm kernel is a big industry that if you have a factory that will process them, even agriculture, that can process most of this, the finished product of all these things, it needs us better money. Not just because you want to do cryptocurrency and I want to jump into it. Hopefully I never saw the finish. It's alright. We are waiting for the end result. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Alright, thank you. Lagos Talks. Good morning. Who's speaking?
Hi, good morning. My name is Izima.
Hi, Izima. How are you?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Long time listener, first time caller.
Fantastic. She needs a bell ring.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Essex. We say.
You say
Essex.
Essex.
Yeah.
Oh, one more bed.
Are you calling
International
from
call.
And I have to say thank you, Sharon. You actually gave me a free ticket to your concert in London, Barbican.
Okay.
Years ago.
Oh wow.
Fantastic.
But yeah, on this, I just wanted to weigh in on this digital currency problem. I think our government hasn't thought this through, as they do with most things. This is a problem that doesn't need to be solved now or in the next 30 years. Even if they wanted to bring this in, why not link it to the development of the average Nigerian? There are other creative ways to make this work. For example, putting out education, there's many skills and services that are needed by the global marketplace that people could deliver. Do you know there are people who earn $50,000 for writing content?
Wow.
You know, they just write these words on a website and they earn $50,000 a year on that. It will not take a huge investment in our educational sector to get people to that level where they can render simple services that are so needed by people all over the world. They render these services and get paid appropriately. People will be lifted faster out of poverty. And then they can bring this digital currency and say, use this as a payment tender, as an option. Not enforce it, but as an option. There's so many creative ways they can use this to not just generate income for themselves, but also to lift millions of people out of poverty. I don't understand why they are limited in ideas, and also why they are not allowing enough time to see these projects through, because this will obviously fail, and they'll wonder why. But unfortunately, it'll be too late because a lot of money would have gone down the drain. So that's my little way.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. And yes, it doesn't go. You know that drain is somebody's account.
Sadly.
You know, in Nigeria, that drain that we talk about. You know,
Let's take this. Lagos Talks.
Hello.
Hello. Who's speaking? Is this T?
It's Italy from Mr.
It's Mr. T. I don't hear your hello. See, all this with that voice, it can't take Kajo Ifi for this show. All this.
Kajo.
Mr. T. Mr. T, you've not called me for another live session. We have to do another live session soon. No?
he called you for a live session. How come I didn't know this show? You did not invite me for that one.
Is it everything we invite you to? Yeah, okay, we'll invite you. We'll do it in my house, but okay. Mr. T is from Italy. Okay. He will connect from Italy.
All right, let's hear you.
Yeah, so I think you're pronouncing this thing wrong. So it's not digital currency, like they say, it's digital. Digital currency.
Digital.
Yeah, well, so for me though, I don't think the blockchain technology itself is nice. I think something that can help this resource allocation that we have. So if they're like, because like most of the looted funds come from resource allocation, budget allocation, all of that. If they can incorporate this blockchain tech into that, then it will be very good for the country because everything will be locked in a chain. So no one can just easily, move money like that. Like you have all the banks here, all the ministers having like signatures here. So it's like you have like a chain of transactions forming for let's say the Nigerian project allocation. And if you serve the country well, but for the whole country now, I don't think we need it yet. So that's my thought.
All right, thank you very much for your take.
I mean, that's a good idea in terms of using it to pay, to do our resource, and so that the middlemen, so-called middlemen, will not be in the middle to see the money to collect if it's in digital currency that we can monitor digitally. But Nigerian politicians, they will find a way. They will find a way.
Ouch. This is coming from Chivido saying, good morning, Ify. And Sheol, this government accuses citizens of putting the country in a bad light, but their activities are what is putting us in a bad light. How can Malami tell such a lie on the Twitter ban? Honestly, if I hear that this government is looking for me, I will run even when my hands are clean because they might put lies and allegations on me. This one is coming from Baumi saying there is Bitcoin, there are altcoins, and there are blip coins. I'm not touching that. This is coming from a listener saying, so Morris saying, hi, Ify and Jane, the VPN app would grant the developers access to your phone and other apps on your phone. A hacker can pull out your login information from the back end. It's not just VPN. Most apps have this feature.
It's not because of the VPN, it's because of the hacker.
Yeah. This is from Kunle saying, please, Ify and Jane, can you help me relay this message to Mr. Mhevele that only his family members and bosses and colleagues in government will invest in that.
Governor CBA, you don't hear this. Someone will tell you.
My controller is saying before they launch their own digital currency, they should allow our local banks to transact with crypto traders and buyers. I pray Nigeria's digital currency will not run into a dip right from launching. This is coming from Paul saying they want to launch Operation Giant in October. Where is our Nigeria Air that was launched with fanfare in the UK with millions of naira? Where is our canvas breed now that we need it? This is coming from Lewis saying, God bless you abundantly for the emphasis on human capital as panacea to building the big capital needed for 21st century Nigeria to be globally competitive. My ideas count for the attainment of the aforementioned goals. This is from a listener saying, wait until Nigerians short their coin until they use all their foreign reserves, which isn't being used to work for us, to defend it, and the money comes back to Nigeria. This is coming from Bode saying, say, if you stop saying good afternoon, your weekend mood is already kicking off. You already know. And he said that was how you left us 1 hour to the end of your show on Friday like this, only for you to realize in the car that and we said, yeah, this happened like last month or so that I left on Friday. Like I thought it was 4 and I went into the car and I thought my clock was wrong and I realized that it wasn't 4 yet. This is coming from Chibudo saying, remember before Twitter was banned, Adamu Garba had Crow and he was backed by this government. Now they come with another digital currency after banning crypto. Alright, let's move on to other stories. But before that, remember this show, The People's Perspective, is brought to you by Adam and Eve, Nigeria's #1 homeware superstore, which is tried, it's tested, it's trusted, and they provide luxurious lifestyle products that reflect the class, the style, and the personality of their clientele by providing an extreme range of products to suit their taste. So they tailor make it to what your taste is saying, and that's why it's advised that you go onto their store at Isaac John in Ikeja. You visit them in order for them to ask you, of course, the right questions, for them to also take you around their very beautiful store filled with a variety. Honestly speaking, Chio and I went on different days and we compared notes, and it was very similar. We loved the experience there. So go check it out. And their vision is to inspire luxury living defined by comfort, elegance, and creativity.
And also wellness. I'm adding that for them because they have a lot of things that help, just your general well-being.
Your general well-being.
Well-being.
Beautiful. All right. Before taking more of your calls, let's move on. It's just a little bit about the Sunday Igboho arrest. But before we get to that, Lagos Talks.
Hello.
Good morning. Who's speaking?
My name is Mr. Williams.
Mr. Williams, welcome. Let's hear you, please.
Yeah, Elder Williams.
Elder Williams, welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, so
Respect to the elders.
anytime I see you, the way you grow, I give God thanks. The way you mature so quick, I give God thanks. Because I know when you are so small. The strength of this nation rises in the shoulder of you. And you must carry it with the truth. It's not with the propaganda that people are giving you as newspapers and all these things. They cannot move forward with that. You must do it with all your honesty to save this nation from collapsing. Very soon now, we will talk about Sunday, but I know. See, let me say this. Do you know that the PDP conducts an election about 4 times? They don't talk of doing anything concerning electronic voting. They don't talk. They do it the way they like. And when they lose out now, they began to mobilize people, take care about advise Nigerians, allow them to play their politics the way they know it. When you cheated people, and because you have lose out, allow people to cheat you too. Because you are enjoying it. Because you are enjoying it. Are we not in this country? What are we talking? Then we will join them, begin to make other parties that see they're so bad. Then rule this country for good 4 years. They conduct election for good 4 years. Nothing happens. Then people will come, don't we move forward? What? We will move forward with the truth. If you rob people, confess what you did, ask for forgiveness. Then we talk about moving forward. Even in the Bible, it is so. We see it in the life of Matthew, Zacchaeus. Those that cheated before they said they're born again, they returned, maybe something they call restitution. They returned all those things they stole from them. So in Nigeria, if we, as we are talking about all this on the radio, are called what's the chorus? They are wicked. Because simple truth is not in their mouth. Simple truth is not in their mouth. Look at Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu started this thing 2014. He started in 2014. They established one small radio station, called the Radio Biafra. Appeasing everybody, said all sorts of things. Today, people are supporting and agitated. They want to save these people from where? From who?
All right, sir. Thank you very much for your take. We need to move on to other stories. Now, speaking about Sunday Igboho, if you recall, we got information last week when his arrest was being pushed out on different platforms, on social media as well as news outlets. And the counsel to Sunday Igboho on Tuesday averred that his client was arrested along with his wife in Benin Republic by the International Criminal Police Organization. Now, in his statement, Yomi Aliyu, he called on the government of Germany and Benin Republic to prevent the extradition of Igboho to Nigeria. And he said, and I quote, "I call upon you to rise up and curb the impunity of the Nigerian government by refusing any application for extradition of our client, who already has application before the International Criminal Court duly acknowledged." Just in recent news regarding his arrest, Ibrahim David Salami, the current counsel to Sunday Igboho, spoke on his arrest in the Benin Republic, and he said that his client was arrested with a Nigerian and a German passport. Now, this is contrary to the claims that Sunday Igboho was tried for possessing a Beninese passport despite not being a citizen of the country. He spoke with BBC and he said, and I quote, "It is not true that Benin Republic passport was found on Sunday Igboho, who was arrested, or when he was arrested. What was found on him were Nigerian and German passports. His wife had only her German passport on her at the point of arrest." And a few other things that he had to say. But currently, the supporters are still beckoning on the government to ensure the release of Sunday Igboho, saying that he really hasn't committed any crime whatsoever. And initially, one of the crimes that they were trying to pin on him was the fact that he was caught with a Beninese passport, when he wasn't a citizen. But then they've confirmed and they've cleared that, saying that's not true. It was a Nigerian and a German passport that he was found with.
Let me just tell everybody something, so that we don't shout ourselves hoarse. If the Nigerian government has a hand in Sunday Igboho's arrest in the Republic of Benin, the Republic of Benin has no choice but to give him to the Nigerian government. The Republic of Benin cannot afford another land border closure, because they will add air land. By the time Buhari is done with the Beninois government, Nigeria, we are weak in the international committee, but not among all these our neighboring countries, all these Chad, all these Benin. Remember when what was his name? Yaya Jammeh refused to live in Gambia after the election. Now one Nigerian battalion arrived. All the Gambia army just raise up their hand like this, say, "Hey, we don't fight again. We don't do. We agree. You should leave." So Nigeria can easily bully Benin Republic into handing Sunday Igboho. And also, as elder, let's not be lying to ourselves that Sunday Igboho did not do anything. He did something. That's the truth. And that's what I was saying in the beginning of all this. Don't put the cart before the horse. Before you do this kind of thing that you want to do, you must be ready. Because they will come for you. There's no way you will do it and you'll be walking on the streets with your chest like, what do you think you are, fella, Anikulapo-Kuti? Even fella, do you know how many times he has to go to jail? And why are they afraid of jail? This is what I don't understand. Why are all these so-called freedom fighters afraid of time to go to jail? Everybody is running to England. They're going to arrest you in Kenya. They're going to catch you inside Benin Republic. What's going on? Why is everybody afraid of jail? Freedom fighter, one of your, if you're a footballer, you must know that one of the risks of your job is that you can break your knee. And I think if you are a freedom fighter in this aspect, that is okay, you want to go against the state, militarily, in a militant fashion, because if you remember when this thing happened in Igboho that started this whole Sunday Igboho issue, he was bragging about how they killed people there. The head of the Fulani people came out, how they killed his brother. And since that time, what people have not been making us about is that there's been reprisal attacks in the Igboho. You see that town he went to first, the Fulanis have gone back there 3 times to kill people there. Where was he to defend them at those times? Nowhere. Did they set up citizens defense committee in that village to help the citizens defend themselves in case it's not there? No. Everything is to make sure. So now, you do this kind of things, but you are not prepared. You don't have your army. You've not trained your army. You are living in a mansion. Osama bin Laden is a billionaire. But when he decided to face the American government in a military way, he abandoned all his wealth and went to live inside the cave. Went to live in the desert, because you cannot live in the city and be trying to enjoy the comfort of luxury. That's not how you fight guerrilla warfare and you be a militant in the bush, in the jungle, constantly hiding. Have you seen Shekau before? Where is Shekau's house? You can't see, because that's a serious organization in terms of militancy. So you cannot expect the Nigerian government to sit idly by and allow people like Sunday Igboho to run riots in it. It diminishes their own. They have to have a monopoly of violence. That's one of the things that make a government a government. If the government of a country does not have the monopoly of violence in that country, then it's no longer a government and anybody can push you aside. Yeah.
Anyways, and the fact that he was caught with 2 passports as well, isn't that a bit too convenient, knowing that you're pushing for something in Nigeria, but you have a quick backup?
That's how Nnamdi Kanu has British passport now.
Leave at any time.
I know their family are in Europe and America, but you are telling people's children in Nigeria to come and die. Fantastic. You know, and people too will be listening to such people. You know, my father, now here all of us none of us has British passport. Even though my daughter was born in France, she's not applying for French passport in any way, shape or form. Anyway, we are all here. We die here. Yeah, because we don't have, and that's why I'm so passionate about my country, because I don't have anything else. I'm not invested in anywhere else. You understand? Every politician in Nigeria, and this is not only people like Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu, these are not elected officials. Let's just say they don't even owe Nigerians that. You know, many people that are not them have dual citizenship. Our politicians that rule this country, in charge of our existence, all of their children are not Nigerians. All of them. Maybe 90, maybe only out of, maybe less than 1% of them have Nigerian passports. To the extent that even NURTW chairman, their children, I mean, Oluomo, are you not seeing his children everywhere? He's in the abroad. So, why would they care about you? You know, I think that's the criteria that Nigerians must use to, for anybody that wants. Do your children have only Nigerian passport? That's the person we want to follow.
Anyways, someone is asking, does Adam and Eve do online sales? Yes, of course, they have a website, so you can go check out their website, adamevehomeware.com. So it's adamevehomeware.com, and you'd see the variety that they have on their website. You could pick from that, or you could just go directly to their store on number 8. I think this is at number 8 Isaac John Street, Ikeja, GRA, Lagos. So it's at number 8 Isaac John Street, Ikeja, GRA, Lagos.
The capital of Lagos, Ikeja.
Lagos Talks. Good afternoon. Who's speaking?
Good afternoon. It's Butterfly.
Good afternoon.
Oh, Yemi, what are you doing back in this show with this your butter? Oh my God. You know what? I'm going to invest in a call screener. We're going to have a call screener on this show. They'll first pick a call. I say, who is this? Once we hear your name, you know what will happen.
My darling Butterfly.
Oh.
Hi, Derry. All right, let's hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, before we basically run away with this, Cheung has begged to disagree a little bit with you. You know.
Please do. This is a nice. It's a dialogue.
Yes. You know, when you look at the Igboho, the historical antecedents of Igboho's rise to stardom, you realize that he has been reacting to the killing of farmers and raping women and all the rest of it in the bush, in our forest. And he has risen up to oppose that. Up until now, none of the other people on the other side have been arrested. Nobody has sent, the word from the police for them to surrender themselves. The King ran away to Ilorin, as he said, attacked, the Bourbon or whatever that is, 3 times, as he said. Wakili also was caught in the forest. None of these people are in detention. And Igboho was, as you know, he was in his house up until the time he had to, escape, because they actually wanted to, seems to me, that he wanted to be assassinated. But a lot of few people died, and then they claimed that they had found, a weapon in his house, and so on and so forth. It is a madman who will be arguing with an armed conflict.
But Yemi, do you agree that Igboho's fight is not that I'm protecting Yoruba people from illegal attacks? His fight is that I'm separating Yoruba people from Nigeria by any means necessary. So we
some
must
of us
separate. We must separate
disagree
the two.
with that.
I'm not. Me, I don't. If he's saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm protecting these villagers from attacks," that is a different thing. But to say, "My protecting these villagers from attacks" is part of a larger action or mission of removing Yoruba people from Nigeria militarily without even having a conversation with the Yoruba people themselves.
He never said that.
All right, we would have to wrap this up because we have just 1 minute left.
No, he never said
Yoruba
that.
nation is his
And
movement,
the
no?
government did not have to kill him for saying something.
No,
He
no.
has said worse things on radio.
No, don't get me wrong,
He
oh.
kill people for saying something.
I didn't say they should
He
kill
has
him.
not
Oh.
killed anybody because of that.
All right,
So,
Adeyemi, thank you very much for your take. It's 12 and we need to say goodbye on the show today. Thank you to everyone who was a part of this show. It's always a pleasure having you in the studio as well. Before we say goodbye, remember the People's Perspective is brought to you by Adam and Eve, Nigeria's #1 homeware superstore. Are you blowing a kiss to your
Yes,
viewers?
that's why I say goodbye to my viewers. Mwah.
All right. You can reach out to me on Instagram at Ifi_.